Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the MYBC Consulting Facebook page, live streaming Tuesday night for the MYBC Virtual Bookstore Author Series. And this is, oh my gosh, we're coming to the end of 2022. This started about this time, 2020, that I made an honor statement to myself. And Elaine, you don't know this about me, is at the end of the year, I tend to make what's called honor statements, not big grand plans, not resolutions, honor statements.
Okay.
That I go around my house and I say, what am I not honoring? What do I own an abundance of and I'm not honoring? And that was books. I love books. I look at my shelves all over the place and I'm like, oh my gosh, I know the author of that book and that book and that book, and I'm keeping it to myself. And that doesn't honor creativity. So I decided to make a virtual bookstore because anybody can do anything right now virtually. And
right.
And then I said, I need to honor these authors. So Elaine, without further ado, you are author number 40 in 2021 that I've chatted with this year. Welcome.
Awesome. That's exciting.
It is. So introduce yourself and let everybody know where you're coming in from this big blue marble called Earth. And let's talk books.
Okay, so I am coming to you from the part of the big blue marble that is located in Pennsylvania. I'm right outside of Philadelphia.
I've never been there. Would love to meet you one day.
Yes, let's make it happen. And so for years, I've facilitated children's programs, and they were self-esteem building programs. And during the COVID pandemic, I realized that I had kind of gotten away from that passion of mine. So I wanted to reconnect, and the places where children were going, where I used to go volunteer, were closed down because of the COVID shutdown. And so I started doing research and say, how can I start working with children? And that's when I started writing children's books. They're children's coloring story books that teach children the power of positive thinking and speaking.
Wow. There's lots to unpack there. We're going to dial back the Elaine Sugar history a little bit farther in your back.
Okay, sure.
And what did you start your career as? I always love to know, kind of what the 18, 19-year-old self was and how it evolved to the today self. So what did your life start like, Elaine?
Started out in banking, where I am still there today. So full time, that's where my career has been for the past 26 years. So my first corporate job was in banking.
Wow. And now children, which is fantastic.
Yes.
So what are some of the titles of some of your books, please?
So it's a series. So all of them, and it doesn't matter what order you read them in. When I say series, people say, what order should I read them in? It doesn't matter. They can all be read on their own. They're independent. But the series is called Cell Phone Sir Sugar. So it's sugar like the sweetener, but in the company's name, Kids More Sugar, which is my publishing company, and in the name of the series, SUGAR is an acronym that stands for saying unforgettable good affirmations regularly. So
awesome.
my company is all about empowering children, and the main tool that I use is affirmations. So Cell Phone Sir Sugar is the character that's consistent in all 8 of my coloring storybooks. And he teaches the children affirmations, and he talks to them as they fall off to sleep at night, saying those positive affirmations to them. And that's what they learn and carry with them throughout their day as they run into their little challenges and situations in life. And so that's the series name, but there's a book. There's 4 for the little boy and 4 for the little girl. So Lil has Lil Science Experiment.
Okay.
Lil's soccer game.
Mm-hmm.
Why am I forgetting the names? There's a Lil Science Experiment 1, and then Lil Science Experiment 2. Lil makes many houses. So she's making houses. And so, yeah, that's 4. So it's the soccer game, the science experiment 1 and 2, and Lil makes many houses.
Okay, we're gonna dial it back to that epiphany that you had, that you needed to take fingers to keyboard, writing to tablet to start creating these books. What was the epiphany moment that Elaine went, this is it, this is what I'm doing?
I was doing research that was provided by Dr. Bruce Lipton. And he basically explained that they did research and found that 95% of the messages that children receive about themselves are negative. And I thought, absolutely no way. That the look that you have
chill bumps, Elaine. As that sat on my heart, my body got chill bumps.
Do you understand? So as I'm reading this, I'm like, you are kidding me. Like, there's no way, like, that stat has to be wrong. And he went into detail about it. And he started talking about how you can change that, how you can avoid that from happening, how you can empower by your mindset and what you tell yourself and what you say to yourself. So I remember thinking to myself, wow, all those years prior that I was facilitating those children's programs, we did some wonderful work, but I didn't have this knowledge. I was not teaching children the power of positive thinking and speaking. And I was thinking to myself, wow, we have really undersold this. We have really done an injustice. And I'm thinking kids need more of this. And that's how we get the name Kids More Sugar. Kids need more saying unforgettable good affirmations regularly. And I just thought to myself, all right, this is a shutdown. I can't go volunteer where I used to volunteer and teach it. So what do? I was closed in, right? We're shut down. Why don't I write some color and storybooks and start an online friends club? Those are things I can operate and do in this current situation. I don't have to say, well, I'll wait until the world opens back up. So that's what I did. I did a online friends club. It was totally free. Did little contests and affirmation activities, and put the books out there into the world.
There's 2 words that I kept hearing over and over and over again. And those words were, well, oh, sorry, there's 4 words. I just played it back over in my head, is what I can do. And those that are triumphing right now in whatever they're doing in the world, and that could be just waking up and having a great cup of coffee and getting through the day with a smile, is saying those words. And that was much like the creation of the virtual bookstore. It's like, well, what can I do today? Because on March 12th, 2020, 2020, 2/3 of my business kind of went bye-bye. And it was, we all had that beautiful pity party, on March the 13th. I don't know about in the United States, but here where I live on March the 13th in my world, I was told a lot of stuff, had to stop.
Right.
On the 14th, it was like, okay, Jeanette, what can you do? What can you do? What can you do? What can you do? And I know there's a children's book out there. It's like, I think I can, I think I can, I think I can. The little choo-choo train going up the hill.
Yes.
And I love that you got into that headspace and found something so beautiful to create in that mind space that we all have between our ears, and that gets fueled by our mouths in the end, and how we speak to ourselves internally, and then of course to the world, that you came up with these affirmations. So I would love for you to share, what are your personal affirmations that you have on auto play in your head, Elaine?
So they change for me because I'm very specific, and I eventually started getting asked to come talk to adults about positive thinking and affirmations. So one of the things I teach is adults is be very deliberate in your affirmation. Choose it for a reason. It's not just something positive to say to yourself. So I don't need to say affirmations that I am a published author because I'm already a published author. Now, if you need to pick me up and you want to remind yourself of things you've done, that's all right. But just know that when you're talking about affirmations, you're speaking something into existence. You want to focus on those things that you haven't accomplished yet, and you want to start to say those things as though they are. So, for instance, I have goals.
Hold it, just a sec. I
Sure.
want you to re-say that.
Sure.
What an affirmation. That is probably one of the strongest and most profound ways that I've ever heard the word affirmation definition. So again, loop back, we're going to hit rewind. Yes. And say what an affirmation is.
An affirmation is something that you're saying deliberately. You're saying it because it has not come to fruition, but you're stating it as though it already is in order to bring it to fruition. So, what do you want to happen with your business next year? What do you want a degree in? What income do you want? It's not, I want to be a millionaire. It's, I am a millionaire. And I tell people to add some emotion words into that, because when you get your heart involved with your brain, you got a winning team. So I love the sense of security that I have now that I'm a millionaire. I love the benefits that my family is receiving now that I am a millionaire. That's what you want to affirm. Some of us sometimes will hear, oh, I'm saying my affirmation, but their affirmation might be lifting their mood, but it's something they've already done, or we don't say it as if it already is. My affirmation is I am going to be a doctor. No, if you want to be a doctor, your affirmation is I am a doctor and I'm so proud of what I've accomplished. I am a doctor and I love the impact, the positive impact that I can have on other people's lives.
Wow. So do you, because our heart's here and our brain's up here and there's a big space, in between. Is this something that we write out, speak out, think out? Like, what is the most powerful way to put that affirmation out there?
All of the above.
Okay.
I will tell you what's also very powerful: visualizing it, seeing yourself, getting to the point where when you say it, think it, you can actually feel the excitement of it. So how exciting is it going to be when I have $1 million? What kind of relief is that going to provide? So have some visualization of what that is, whether it's a house that you would like to buy, if it's a car, whatever it is, some visual picture of what being a millionaire represents. And now you're visualizing. Give your brain all different types of ways to comprehend that, hey, this is what I am. And then have your brain start to follow.
Oh my gosh. So now that was a lot to unpack for my 57-year-old brain in a beautiful way. And you were so eloquent in saying it out. Okay, dial it back to a 5-year-old. Dial it back to a 6-year-old, that word affirmation.
For our 5-year-olds, we don't need to give them all of the background.
Okay.
when I started preparing, because people started asking me, hey, well, adults need this too. That's when I have to think about all of the self-doubt and all of the barriers there are and all of the reasons why we will tell ourselves as adults not to do anything. My job's easier with children. You can just tell them, hey, you want to be a firefighter when you grow up? You're a firefighter. What does your hat look like? What do you do? Oh, I ride in a big truck and I, go put out fire. They see themselves. I don't even have to encourage them like that. Now, they also don't need all of the pushing to imagine and to see it.
Okay.
And 9 times out of 10, if they know what it looks like and they want to be it, and you start having a conversation with them, look at their face. They're living it.
Yeah.
We talk about things in a very, oh, what do you want to be? Oh, I want to be a teacher and I'm going to go to college and get a degree, and then I'm going to teach at this school. But children, you ask them what they want to be. Oh, they're in it. And that's what we need to learn how to do. We need to learn how to be in it. Elaine Sugar, tell your brain that this nonprofit organization that you started is going to have 5,000 members next year, and feel what that looks like. How is that going to, shape your day? What will you be doing? You want 5 more books as an author? You got a total of, what is that, 13, 8 plus 5, 13 books now. What is that like? What do they look like laid out on your website? All of that detail. With children, you just tell them. Whatever it is you want to be, just go ahead and say that it already is. That's what I tell them. So what do you want to be? I want to be a firefighter. Okay, well, start saying it. I am a firefighter.
Oh my gosh, this is so good for the end of the year. This is so good. Do you have a couple of your books that are there that you can show us?
Wouldn't that have been the smart thing? So I actually don't have one handy, but I don't know if you have a screen share. That would have been smart, but I came without a book. Believe it or not, as much as I've talked about my books now that I think about it, I don't think anyone's ever asked me to show a copy of what they look like. How about that? Isn't that interesting?
Well, that was my affirmation. I'm like, I wonder what it looks like.
Well, I can share my screen with you.
If absolutely. Let's do that. I just did multiple screen. And by the way, we are friends on Facebook recently, and I saw the pillow. Is that something new?
So that is the plush doll version of my cell phone. So Cell Phone Sir Sugar is the one that teaches the affirmations.
Okay.
So when you go to my website, kidsmoresugar.com, you can buy the books on Amazon. But if you scroll, so there's the cell phone here, and there's my main characters.
Why did you choose a cell phone as the delivery method of the affirmations?
So my books are for children anywhere from the ages of 5 to 10.
Okay.
And boy, do I see them reaching for cell phones all the time. And some little 6 and 7-year-olds know more features on some phones than I do. I remember one time I was on a plane sitting next to a complete stranger, a lady and her little boy. And he asked me, he said, "Did you put your phone on airplane mode yet?" And I had it in my hand. I said, "No." He grabbed it and put it in airplane mode. His mom was trying to stop him. He had done it so quickly.
Oh my gosh.
So I said, wow, they pay attention to cell phones. They can't wait until they get their own cell phone, and you see them always asking for their parents' cell phone, right? So I figure, hey, let's use a cell phone. They seem to be into those. So if you scroll here again, there's 4 books featuring Lil and 4 featuring Will, and I named them after my parents. Aww. Willie and Lily Sugar, yeah. So this is what they look like. There's Will's new business, Lil Science Experiment, the first part, in the soccer game, and his new invention where he invents something and Will's powerful friends, and Lil makes many houses. And then the last 2 that just came out, Will's New Business Part 2 and Lil Science Experiment 2.
Beautiful. And is it a workbook, coloring book? What kind of book is it?
It's actually a coloring story book. Okay. So it's a full story, so you could just read the story without coloring. But when you finish, you have pages there to color. So they're all coloring storybooks.
Absolutely beautiful. So through Amazon, through your website. So a
Yes.
question, I'll have you stop sharing screen now.
Okay.
What a beautiful website. It's so fun.
Oh,
I'd want to
thank
play
you.
around on there. I love to ask the question, who needs to be gifted these books, or who do you see these books being on their desk or shelf to be able to help kids? So there you go. There's my two questions.
So every child in the world between the ages of 5 and 10, and depending on their reading level, like, your child, if you have a child who is 11 or 12, but they're reading on that, it would still interest them and they wouldn't feel like, oh, I'm reading a baby book, then you can kind of play it that way. You can definitely go on Amazon and take a look at some of the pages. And you can also, I could give you the link to my website as well and my YouTube channel. I have 2 recordings where on Zoom at my book launches, I've read Will's New Business, some excerpts from it, and Lil Science Experiment. So you can actually hear recordings, see what you think. You can also go on Amazon and they will let you flip through a few of the pages. But for the most part, I ask the parents to read them with the children the first time, because there are many lessons in there aside from the affirmations, like caring for others, perseverance, persistence, patience. There are really some good decision making is big in this last book, decision making, and all age appropriate decisions that children would have to make at their age with their parents' consent and help. But I would say 5 to 10, unless you have already saturated your children with a lot of self-esteem enhancing, positive thinking tools, then I will suggest you add this, because again, I believe we have undersold it. I believe we should be teaching it in schools, and I am working on something that should be coming out in the first part of next year that is literally a training program that can be used by parents. I'm working on having it turned into a video and a workbook, so you can hear the lessons and then pause, do activities, make sure you understand. That's what I would like to see. So you can't overdo this. I was listening to someone, and I don't remember who it was, who said that when you have a negative thought, it takes you 76 positive thoughts to neutralize the impact, just to neutralize it. So if you think about that statistic and the fact that 95% of the messages children are receiving about themselves are negative, then yes. So I would say, even if you're a parent who already talks to your children about positive thinking and affirmations, these books have a different approach. These characters have fully developed personalities. There's jokesters. This is a full community experience here. So I would say, again, unless you have been all over this, if you're all over it, then, but I say have it come from another direction. We can't have too much of this, because do you know how many of us can tell you about one negative thing that somebody said to them throughout their lives, and it had a profound impact and hurt for so long and caused us to change our personalities, our behaviors, caused us stress and tension? One thing. So I say you can't always be there with your children. So teach them to be able to do this for themselves.
Oh, wow. I also have envision school psychologists. My internet's gone just a little weird. Like school psychologists, school counselors.
Yes.
Because it seems like it'll be a very non-threatening, very nurturing way
Mhm.
as well. So there's just kind of my idea top of mind to get it
Yes, yes,
into hands.
yes. I have actually worked with someone who has sold their books to schools and received some advice and direction from her. So we want to make this so that it could be used in schools. And I just have to figure out how to market, how to get in touch with them. But it can be used by organizations, schools, or parents at home.
Sounds beautiful. Well, thank you so much, Elaine. You are doing beautiful work out
Thank
there
you.
to help the children, because it's interesting. I look back to how this all started when I asked about adults, is the adults are saying the things that they're saying or not saying to themselves because it wasn't said back here as a child.
Mm-hmm.
If there was said that you're strong, you're gonna you can be this and that you can be this, and
Yes.
you can be this, and you can be this.
Mm-hmm.
We have a whole generation of very strong, independent, kind, loving, accepting adults that would kind of go, why do I need an affirmation? Why do I need an
Uh-huh.
affirmation? And
Mm-hmm.
I love your definition. I'm so grateful. And remind me again, please, who connected us together? Was it Lachelle?
Was it a deal?
Oh, a
Wow.
deal.
I think it was a deal.
It was a deal. So little shout out
Yes.
to a deal today for connecting us up. This is what MyBC is all about, connecting to collaborate, to build the communities that we want to thrive in as adults, children, and a community at large. So we'll make sure afterwards, you probably noticed that you couldn't ask Elaine any questions. I do believe with this is Elaine is my present, and that's with a T on the end. So my gift to her is my presence. So that's, if you have any questions for Elaine, please put them into the chat box. If you're watching this on the replay, she'll come back and answer those questions. We'll make sure you put the link to your website into the chat. I'll send you the video afterwards, so it's nice and easy. I think this is a perfect Christmas gift. There's still time, I know, to order it on Amazon. And heavens to Betsy, if you got it slow shipping, you know, we have to be patient, is one of the key things in your book. Just take a screenshot of the book that you're going to be giving that person for Christmas, roll it up in a piece of paper, print it off, put it in a stocking, knowing the book is going to come to their hands. I think this is a beautiful way to start 2022 with your children on a very positive, affirming way. So thank you so much, Elaine. You've just been an absolute joy author to chat with tonight.
Thank you so much for creating this space and finding value in what I do to give me the opportunity to talk about it. So you have been a fantastic host. I appreciate it.
Awesome. Have a great night, everybody. Grab a book, maybe grab some tea or hot chocolate, snuggle in tonight, read a book, take your brain to somewhere that you've never been before and learn something new. Enjoy, everybody. I'll see you back here Tuesday night at either 5 p.m. or 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time for another author series. Bye-bye.